Hi, this is Deborah at Dinglefoot Scrapbooking, and this week I have a butterfly card that I'm going to make, and this can be for any occasion, birthday, or just an everyday card. I'm going to make mine into a birthday card. So, what I have is, I'm going to go with purple. So, I have my purple card, and this is just 8.5 inches by 5.5 inches, folded in half. And then I have this white piece. It's 5.25 by almost 4 inches. So just so we have a nice rim of purple around it. And then I have purple glitter paper, and this is 3.5 by 5 inches. And then I have my white paper, and that is 4.75 by 3 inches. So those are my pieces. And then I took 3 butterfly stamps and I just lined them right up on an acrylic block. So 2 of them are from the Gemstone Butterfly Collection, and then this other butterfly is just one I had. So I lined them right up in a row, kind of. These 2 are about the same size, but kind of from biggest to smallest. And then I'm going to stamp with black ink, and I have silver embossing powder. And I have just some generic ribbon. I actually got this at the Dollar Tree, but it has a little bit of silver in it, so I thought that would be kind of nice. So, to start, I'm going to attach this glitter paper to the white paper. So that's going to be my first step. And I'm just going to put a piece of score tape on the top and bottom to join those together. So we'll just try to line this up here. And then, before this goes on the very front of the card, I'm going to go ahead and grab my silver ribbon, silver and white ribbon, and I'm just going to cut a piece that's long enough to wrap right around the card. So just a little extra on each side. And then I'm going to turn it over and grab my score tape again. I'll just run a piece right along the ribbon there. And take the backing off. And then I can just easily place it across the bottom part, just somewhere on the bottom, it doesn't matter where. Just wrap it right around, and then you don't have any raw edges on your ribbon. And now this whole piece can go right on the front of my card. So again, just going to grab my score tape. And I'm just going to add bottom, top, and middle for the score tape. Then I'll just peel these parts off. And then next we're going to do our stamping, and that's what is going to add a beautiful touch to our sparkly purple card. Okay, so we can set that aside. And then I'm going to grab my white sheet of paper that I have, and I just, actually I just measured the butterflies against it and made sure I had a little bit of room here at the bottom for my greeting. So, we've got to have our embossing powder ready because that has to go on the ink while it's still wet. And then, if you do, just a tip, if you do grab stamps from different collections, kind of hold your acrylic block up sideways and see if they're the same level, because some companies will make their stamps a little bit different heights. So you want to make sure they're pretty well the same height. Otherwise you could just stamp them all separate too. I'm just doing this just to make it fast. I'm trying to stamp them all at one time, so I hope I can get the impression nice and dark. So I'm going to start near the top, middle, hopefully, of this sheet of paper. It looks like I didn't quite get enough ink on that butterfly there. I'm going to do the best I can, because as soon as I stamp this, I do want to pour my embossing powder on it right away to make sure that this gets a nice impression. I'm not sure what's with that stamp, but it looks like the ink isn't on it as well as I wanted. That looks a little better. Okay, so here we go. Let's try to get this kind of lined up towards the middle. This acrylic block is way bigger than I wanted, but for some reason, even though I actually cleaned up my table here, for some reason, I don't know where my other acrylic blocks are, so I'm stuck with this humongous one. And hopefully that came out. And that did. That came out pretty well. So while this is still wet, we want to sprinkle the embossing powder on. Just if you dump the whole bottle on, that's fine, because what you're going to do is take the rest and just dump it right back in your jar, and you can use this again. So, set that aside. And I like to take my card that I've stamped on and just give it a good tap. Kind of knocks off the extra powder. And then I'm going to grab my heat tool, and I'm going to heat this up and melt the powder, and I'll be right back in a minute. My butterflies are embossed, and if I was going to stamp my greeting, I would go ahead and do this at the same time, because you don't want to put this on this rough surface with the ribbon underneath and then try to stamp some more. So I'm not going to stamp this time. I have some tiny little stickers. So I'm just going to put stickers on for my greeting. And I'm going to make this a happy birthday card. So I'm taking the easy way out using stickers today. But if you're stamping, just go ahead and do all of that right away before you ever put this on the front of your card. And this is ready to go on the front now. So this one I'm going to do all the sides. Sometimes when you emboss, stamp and emboss your paper, it gets a little bit warped, but if you stick it down really good, it will straighten back out. I'm going to put a piece in the middle too. So it's just the heat that does that to your paper. And we can just straighten it back out. Because it's a little bent up, sometimes you can see it's a little curvy or something from that heat. But if you put adhesive on all the sides and stick it down, it will go back flat. So, got my score tape backing up, and I'm just going to put that right on the front of my card, smooth it down, and this card is finished. Thanks so much for watching.